What's up, y'all? Welcome into the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm Whitaker alongside Michael Wallace. We are courtside here at FedEx Forum. It's a Monday night, getting you ready for the first of 4 straight home games. Yeah. Tonight we got the Grizzlies against the Detroit Pistons. Grizzlies coming in 3-4. Detroit Pistons are 4-2. The Grizzlies, of course, played less than 24 hours ago in Toronto against the Toronto Raptors. Grizzlies lost 117-104. Jaren finished with 20 points, 9 boards, his first 20-point game of the year, although he's had at least like 15 in every game this season. Vince Williams, 14 off the bench. Santi, 15 off the bench. The Pistons have been pretty good so far this year. They just came back from Mexico City where they got a win. Cade Cunningham is averaging 22 points, 10 assists. Jalen Duren controlling the boards for this Pistons team. Grizzlies got that loss last night in Toronto, of course, playing at least one man down. John Morant was out of the lineup last night, suspended for 1 game for a violation of the team rules. He comes back tonight. We just heard from Coach Isolo. He said that we are all looking forward. We are all looking to move forward and beat the Pistons tonight. He said Ja's available now. He didn't want to go into starting lineups because we never go into starting lineups pregame, he said.
Right.
Where do you think we stand?
Ja started. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way he's coming off the bench. No way.
That's what I would kind of think, too.
Yeah, there's no way. Nah.
Where do you think we stand on all this stuff going forward now?
You know, it happens, man. Yeah. It happens. You know, you can judge whether, you know, the timing and the space that Ja made his comments in was appropriate or not appropriate. I can understand where each side of this was coming from. Yeah. And it happens when you're losing. You don't want people to be satisfied with losing. You don't want people to be satisfied when they're not giving their best or when others that you're relying on aren't giving their best or it doesn't show in the results. And the thing is, it's just 2 weeks or 3 weeks into the season. Yeah. And so that tells you the level of intensity that's around here right now. And, you know, that's what you want. You want to see what happens after you respond to adversity, and that's where character is formed.
I also think that, like, we're still early in the Thomas Isolo tenure. Yeah. There's sort of a feeling out process here. Like, you know, what does he want from me? What do I give? Yeah. How do I fit into this system? You know, because Ja's only had 1 NBA coach his whole career before this, you know. Right. So I think it's different now a little bit. And I think for Coach Isolo coming over from Europe, he's got to figure out how does my system translate here? Yeah. And what do I need to tweak or change? And the words somebody asked Coach Isolo over the things he's learned through his career that would help in this situation. He said adaptability and pragmatism. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not really sure what pragmatism means, but I'm just kidding. I love those are one of my favorite phrases of his, is pragmatism.
And he talks about it all. Yes, yes, yes. But he prides himself on that, you know, on that pragmatism.
But it means being practical, basically, and being adaptable. I think those are 2 things that, as a coach of this team, it's going to serve him well going forward.
And there's space. Like Lang, we work together every single day. We don't always agree, right? Yeah. We see things in our office, in our team.
We're literally knee to knee right now.
In our structure, man, where if you don't have a relationship where it can get tense sometimes, and you can have honest conversations about how you're feeling and what you demand, then we're not in a place where we're fostering growth. Yeah. You and I have been covering this league for decades. Like, we probably got 50 years between us in terms of being around the NBA. You know, you've seen it every stop you've been at. I've seen it in Miami. I've seen it in Orlando. I've seen it in Atlanta. I've seen it in Chicago. You know, where players and coaches kind of butt heads a little bit at some point until you figure out where those boundaries are. Yeah. And this is a team that's still figuring out where those boundaries are. And now they have a chance to respond. And there's some good news that can come on the other side of this as well, too. So there's a lot to get to. We're going to get to all of it, but that right there happened. Now let's see where the Grizzlies go from here.
I think the best thing that can come out of this is if they can, if not just Ja, but if all the players and the coaching staff can just have an open and honest relationship. You know, just speak the truth, get it out there. I worked at Slam Magazine for a long time, and my wife used to always laugh because I was like, everyone kind of gets along because if somebody has a problem with somebody, we talk about it, we figure it out, and then we move on. You know, like you got to be willing to be a teammate and be a big part of that, and we'll see how all this works out down the future. Hopefully Ja starts tonight. Like we said, he hasn't said. He should be out here in a little bit warming up. So
I'm not starting. You're not starting.
I know. Somebody's got to play point guard.
Right. So, yeah, he started.
Well, that'll move somebody to the bench who started last night probably. And the bench has been awesome for the Grizzlies this season. That's one of the things I think we can look at early on and say they've got that covered. The Grizzlies right now lead the NBA at almost 50 points a game, second to the Miami Heat by 0.2 points per game in bench scoring. There's the number right there. The Grizzlies have averaged 49.6 points per game off the bench. No reserve unit generates more assists per game than the Grizzlies bench, also 13.0. What do you think it is about this bench, Mike? The depth that they have there that's kind of enabled them to find this strength early on this year.
They've shown that. This was the team that was #1 in bench scoring for the first quarter of the season last year, too, maybe the first half of the season. And I remember Golden State was #2, whereas Miami's #2 now. And a lot of it, you know, you look at who's coming off that bench. Santi Aldama has been the constant on last year's team and this year's team. He's a guy that could start, but he comes off the bench, and he takes pride in that role coming off the bench. Now you have also some emerging guys, you know, that have stepped up off that bench when you look at Cedric Coward and Cam Spencer and some of these other guys. John Conchar has been around a long time. He's going to produce no matter where you put him in at a game. So I love the fact that all these guys are staying ready. They're going to get their opportunities. And that's one of the things that's key. When you know you're going to get your opportunity coming off the bench, you tend to, you know, prepare and you're ready. And when your number's called, you go out there and execute.
Well, one of the guys who's trying to find his opportunity has been Gigi Jackson. And today he got sent to the hustle for practice. And tonight, Coach Isola said that was something Gigi actually came to them and requested because he was just looking to get more reps. And Coach said, like, we've talked to Gigi a lot. You know, we've had injuries at the 1, we've had injuries at the 5, but 2, 3, 4, we've been pretty healthy, and that's where Gigi plays. So he just hasn't gotten an opportunity. But I think, you know, that it speaks to the depth of this bench that a guy who we know can fill it up hasn't really been able to crack this rotation.
Yeah, and it's part of trust, too. Like, Gigi has to continue to build that trust. Isola has to give him, you know, you talked about adaptability and pragmatism. He's got to be able to adapt and understand that, okay, Gigi is still only 20 years old. He's still forming into the player that he needs to be. But Gigi has to understand that this is a young coach and a new coach, too. Like, they got to meet, you know, at a certain point. And Isola should be playing Gigi. Talent-wise, if it was just about talent, he's certainly one of the top 5 talented players on this team. Hopefully he gets his breakthrough because I know how hard he works. I know what he's putting into this. And I know how much Gigi cares. And hopefully he gets his chance and his opportunity at some point.
But one of the other guys who practiced with the hustle today was Zach Edey, who's been out with injured all season. He got sent to the hustle today to practice. Is going to practice, I would assume, with them as part of his ramp-up process, getting back closer to action. We've seen him kind of around the team the last few weeks. You see him without the ankle brace. Looks like he's getting closer. What do you think, Mike, the timeline is to get Zach Edey back on the court?
Well, one of the things that Isola said in the pregame comments is that he still remains on that timeline. I asked him specifically, what is he seeing in Edey's progress? And he's been on the practice court the last couple of weeks, you know, doing different things. He hasn't gone through a full practice, but he's been doing workouts and conditioning and, you know, after practice work for a week or so now. And, you know, he has to get in shape, number 1. He has to trust that ankle, number 2. He has to have that physicality. Many people thought that when the Grizzlies signed Charles Bassey, it was to throw him immediately into a game. It was more so to give Edey a sparring partner to go up against in these practices, after practices, so he wouldn't be wearing down the Grizzlies' frontline guys. So it's one of those situations where he's trending, and the Grizzlies, because of their scheduling, playing every other day, coming off of a back-to-back, there's not many practice opportunities. So you got to get Edey practices, and the Hustle start their season and their media days and things this week, so he'll be able to get some runs there.
Well, but also, like, you got to get everyone else practice playing with Zach Edey. Right?
That's
you know
true
what I mean?
too.
Like, because those guys haven't had a lot. Well, some of these guys, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, haven't played with him at all. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a ramping up process kind of on the other side of that, too, for this Grizzlies team. We can look at the injury list again, Kyra, because we know who is out tonight. Brandon Clark, of course, with the knee surgery. Zach Edey was transferred to the G League. He's not playing. P.J. Hall is on a 2-way transfer. Gigi Jackson was on a 2-way G League transfer. Javon Small was on a 2-way transfer. All those guys are back with the Grizzlies tonight, so they're available tonight.
They didn't have to go far.
If needed, They just
went upstairs.
They went to the practice court. They're all available to play. Scottie Pippen out, Ty Jerome out, as they have been. Detroit, Tobias Harris is day-to-day with an ankle injury. I saw him walk in. I don't know if that bodes anything at all, but he looked like he was walking fine.
Man, he played against the Grizzlies in the preseason and had a really, really good game against them.
So did Cade Cunningham.
Yes, yes.
Jaden Ivey's out with a knee injury. Marcus Sasser is out with a hip injury. All right, that gets you set for the start of this game tonight. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Jessica Benson's going to join us. John Roser's going to join us. It's Hustle Night tonight. Johnny Hustle's going to join us.
Johnny Hustle. And we got our bracelets.
We got our bracelets, our friendship bracelets, because we're friends with the Hustle.
Yes.
And Michael Wallace is going to join us again to go around the NBA. We'll be back in just a second. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lane Whitaker. She's Jessica Benson. We're courtside here at FedEx Forum getting you ready for tonight's game between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Detroit Pistons. I was just going to retweet the tweet that said the show was on, and I was going to write, "We live," and it autocorrected to "We love," all caps, and I almost hit tweet that I stopped.
We do love the warm-up.
We love. We're live and we love.
We're live. We love.
We love when Jessica Benson joins us. How you like that? Because we get to talk about tonight's main character. Who are you selecting for tonight's main character?
Oh, Lang, there's only one answer for that tonight. It is John Morant. He is back. He is warming up behind us right now, coming off the 1-game suspension that was served yesterday against the Toronto Raptors. Listen, the last time we were in this building, we watched a very abnormal performance from John Morant in the second half against the Lakers to score 0 points, to be held to 8 points, tied with the lowest scoring output that he had since December of 2024. And that's just not the usual. And obviously, everyone has moved past the happenings that transpired on Friday night that led to the suspension that came out on Saturday that was served on Sunday. And I thought Tomas Isolo pregame wouldn't really talk on it. Discussed it as a internal matter, which is to be expected. But he did use 2 words that I found very interesting in terms of exactly. We wrote down the same ones, which were adaptability and pragmatism. And do we see adaptability and pragmatism both in Coach Isolo from a coaching standpoint and from the team from a performance standpoint?
I think you mentioned Ja being the main character, and all eyes are on Ja tonight. But I think that adaptability and the pragmatism has to come from both ways.
Correct.
You know, and it's going to have to come from his teammates, but also the coaching staff. And everyone's going to have to meet, maybe not in the middle, but I don't think you expect one side to stay still and the other one to move all the way to you, right?
Like all businesses, this is a relationship business. And like all managers, a coach in a sense has to understand and adapt in how to manage personalities within a team, how to work with every one of us. We are all special little stars in this world, and we all have different emotions and different ways that we handle communication and communication patterns, and I think part of this is a learning process. So this is really night one in understanding how this team is able to move on, hopefully. That's what everybody's hoping for tonight against the Pistons. You have 4 games at home, which it's a tough schedule and tough opponents with the Pistons, the Rockets on Wednesday, Thunder next Sunday. So it really is an opportunity to try to move forward in a productive light as they continue to fight through. I think the other thing, the biggest news of today was Zach Edey practicing with the Memphis Hustle, and that's a huge piece for this team to hopefully get back this month. Yeah.
All right, you're on the call tonight on the radio with Eric Hasseltine on ESPN 92.9. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, or on the double post after the game.
Yes.
And then we'll see you tomorrow morning.
And the rewind.
Jessica Bitz and the rewind. Yeah, that's back too. And we're all back. Everybody's back. All right. We'll take a quick break, and then Johnny Hustle is going to join us on the other side of this to talk Hustle Night tonight here on the warm-up show.
Seem to recognize they are.
Is that thing talking?
Bro,
come on, man.
Bro, I'm being dead serious, bro.
You didn't know that.
Did you hear that?
Yes, we heard it.
Does it talk?
I think so, bro.
You didn't know it talks?
Did you hear that?
Yes, we heard it. What does it say?
I don't know.
Is it? It's not supposed to talk. Now we're really freaked out.
I would prefer it not talk if it's not supposed to.
Yo,
you can't make her talk again.
I don't know how you do it. How you do it?
Come on.
We need to be together?
Oh, no. We need to put that over here.
You need to put that up. Send that to Drake.
Yeah, you got that over there, bro. Yeah,
put this over here.
That's a demon child. You got that, bro. Yeah, you got that.
The thing that I was trying to say is that most coaches.
Good point.
Yeah. Yeah, put that thing there. Put that over there. Be careful. Yeah, right? We don't need.
He's John Roser. He's Johnny Hustle. He's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
On the Chris Vernon Show sometimes. He's on the Odds Couple. He's on the Double Post after the game. He's got it all. He's got Memphis Hustle. I got mine on too. It's Memphis. It's Hustle Night, I guess we call it, right?
Diamonds on my wrist. Hustle diamonds on my wrist. These are not diamonds.
No?
No. No.
Take mine back. Jenna told me.
Jenna?
Yeah.
You told me these were real diamonds.
John Roser joins us now, as he always does on the warm-up show. And tonight is Hustle Night. We saw today Zach Edey and Gigi Jackson get assigned to the Hustle for practice today to get some reps in. You've been around the Hustle now since it's been here.
Yep.
What kind of like specific stuff do players get from spending a day with the Hustle like that?
I think rhythm. I think just, it's within the NBA, at least, especially, with hustle games and G League seasons, you play fewer games, so you do actually have time to practice. Yeah. Whereas you get in a lot of the NBA season, you don't. I mean, Tuamasi Salo, Taylor Jenkins, they would all tell you, there's not a ton of practice time within the season. With the G League, you do get a lot of practice time, and I think, obviously, with this being the second night of a back-to-back for the Grizzlies, they were not practicing today. You have a guy like Gigi Jackson, who hasn't been getting in the rotation at all lately, and he hadn't really been getting a ton of work outside of pregame warm-ups or postgame workouts and everything like that. So I think it gives you a chance to get in a real practice. Same for Zach Edey coming back from the ankle surgery. It gives you a chance to actually get a real practice in.
And also, I think you would know this better than me. The Hustle basically runs the same offense as the Grizzlies, right? So you get sort of identical reps in some ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're running a similar offense. So what they have Zach Edey doing down there with the Hustle is going to be very similar to what he is doing up here with the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, you'll just be doing it with John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Instead of the Hustle players.
Yes, instead of Charlie Brown Jr.
We have a training camp roster now, don't we?
Yeah, we do have a training camp roster now. I think the ones that the fans will mostly probably be interested in, Javon Small, PJ Hall, Omax are obviously the two-way players. Nate Hinton is back from last year's team. Tyler Burton is back from last year's team. You also have Jemai Meshack, who is a second-round pick for the Grizzlies. Nobody has heard that name in a long time.
He's official on the 7th.
It'll be official on the 7th. Jemai Meshack, so he will be there this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, when the Hustle tip off the season against the Mexico City Capitanes.
I love going to those games because you can sit close to the court. Oh, yeah. You can bring your family and everything. it's a pretty low impact way of enjoying a basketball. I mean, usually all the Grizzly players, if they're in town, they're there too on the front row watching the game too. What's your favorite thing about the G League? Just a big, broad question. But.
It's not as it's way more laid back. Yeah. Things are a little laid back. Things are a little looser. Like for instance, there's literally security right next to you. Yeah. Like that's not really like all the times the case in the G League. Like I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I love how the openness of it. I think the big thing for like hustle games, like I would tell anybody that has kids or a group of kids, if your kid plays on a sports team, a soccer team, a baseball team, a football team, a basketball team, bring them down all to a hustle game. There's bounty houses in one end zone. They can jump around on bounty houses. There's also a premium area you can pay for. It's not a ton of money where you can pay for, where you get all you can eat food, which
I brought my son's teams every year.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great time. You can pretty much sit wherever you want. Like it is. It's a great time. It's a great time.
Super easy and super laid back.
Players sign autographs after every game.
Yeah. Around. You can be near the players. It's like cool. After the games, after the Grizzlies games, you and I sit together during the games.
Yep.
As soon as the Grizzlies game in, you run over to the studio to get ready for the double post.
Yes.
Just give us a plug. Like, what is the double post? How does it work? What do you guys do?
Okay, so Jessica Benson does radio pregame, halftime, postgame for all the home games. Her postgame show goes about 30 minutes on the Grizzlies radio network. Yeah. And then after that, myself and Bennett Doyle would normally do the radio call-in show. We have now transitioned that to where it still is radio, but we transitioned to the video side too through Grind City Media's YouTube page. So, and Jessica has come on for that, and she's now a part of that post-game show with us. So 30 minutes after the ending of the game, Grind City Media on YouTube, 92.9 FM, ESPN on your radio dial, is the double post. Me, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle. Basically everything that happens in this game tonight, we are going to be talking about.
And you can call in and mix it up.
You can call in. 901-445-0929 is literally the phone number to call in, and you can call in and you can participate in the show. You can call in. You call in. Lane calls in. Lane on the line, very first call of the night. Yeah. And then also, Grind City Media on YouTube, we have a show chat. There's a chat too. If you don't feel comfortable calling in, you want to get in the show chat, you want to say whatever you want.
Put in a fake name.
Put in a fake name, do whatever you want to do.
Be like Daryl, just get in there.
Yeah, just make sure if you go to Grind City Media on YouTube and watch the show, you like and subscribe.
That's right. All right. So we'll catch you about 30 minutes after the end of the game.
Hopefully talking about a dub.
That's right.
We are. John's going for 35 tonight.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Michael Wallace, go around the NBA. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike? 2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night. Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
191 Collabs, presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners, brings Grizz Nation hyper-local Grizz gear from Memphis designers. The next drop is the top-notch collection from proud Memphian Brandon Hobbs and his clothing brand M-Town Merch. The homage to Memphis culture, classic sportswear, and elevated street style is only available at the Grizzlies Den on Friday, November 7th when the Grizzlies host the Dallas Mavericks. Get your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets or visit the FedEx Forum box office.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Michael Wallace, Lane Whitaker. We're going to get you ready for the game, which starts in about 35.5 minutes. Before we do that, we're going to go around the NBA like we always do at this time and talk about some of the bigger stories happening in places other than Memphis. I thought this was interesting, Mike. J.J. Redick the other day was talking about they were going to play the Miami Heat. He mentioned Eric Spoelstra as one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. Would you put Spoelstra in that top tier of coaches? I'm just curious. You covered the Miami Heat for a long time.
I was there when he took over.
Yeah.
I was there when he was an assistant, and I joked with him when he came here the other week. I said, man, now you're a Hall of Famer, sure to be Hall of Famer. Yeah. You got the Olympic coaching job. And I remember when you were wearing flip-flops with your hat turned back, walking out of the film room. And he was like, yeah, time flies, man. And you have to. His accomplishments speak for himself. Yeah. You know, he's a multi-time NBA champion, longest tenured guy, you know, in his job. And he knows what he's doing. He's one of the greatest tacticians that I've ever seen, and his preparation speaks for itself.
He's 17th all time in wins at the moment.
And counting. And he's not, I mean, he's 54.
These guys want to walk by. Roser and Devin are making a mess.
Yeah, it's because we know them. It's only because we know them.
Let's talk about the Dirty Birds. The New Orleans Pelicans are getting blown out.
Okay. I was
the Falcons are losing all the time, too, if you want to talk about them. The Pelicans are now 0-6 on the season. They're getting blown out at a historic rate. I saw the number today, the fastest team to 3 30-point losses ever. What do you do if you're the Pelicans? I know I see people calling for Willie Green to get moved on.
Yeah, he was on a short leash coming in. Joe Dumars
I feel like
came
it's
in.
the roster.
Well, I'm saying Joe Dumars came in and made a controversial trade right off the jump. So he doesn't have a lot of credibility there yet. They do have some pieces, but that roster just doesn't seem like it's coming together. I like Fears a lot. Jeremiah Fears, he looks really, really good. They got some guys on the wing, but this doesn't seem to be Willie Green's position for long. And I think Joe Dumars is going to make some changes in probably in short order.
Yeah, it's not Joe Dumars' coach. You know, like sometimes the new GM comes and brings a new coach.
Yeah.
He inherited Willie Green, so we'll see if this lasts or whatever happens there.
Yeah.
Between the Saints,
he's not completely married to Zion either.
That's true. Yeah.
Because he held Zion accountable from training camp on. So we'll see.
Between the Saints, the Pelicans, LSU, and Tulane, it hasn't been a good. I mean, Tulane, they just lost last week, but you think they were going to be one of the better teams.
Yeah.
Last thing, the LA Dodgers won the World Series.
Yes.
I don't know if you watched. Did you stay awake for that Game 7 the other night?
I wish I had taken that trip to Toronto because those guys got into the building.
The Grizzlies were at the game. We got the photo here.
Yes, they got into the game, into the building, but I didn't make the trip. It was cool to see from that situation. I'm not a real big baseball guy, but I was tuned into that series more so than I've been in a long time. I know you're a big baseball guy.
I am, yeah. I mean, I hate the Dodgers, so I just don't like them because they spend all the money in the world, and they're good because they're like
the new Yankees. They're the new Yankees.
I guess, yeah. They won back-to-back titles now. Like, is it all right? I wrote tomorrow's Grind City Media newsletter about this, about my feelings about this.
Yeah.
Because I'm sort of a hater when it comes to the Dodgers, and I don't know if is that okay to be a hater just because they outspend everybody. They spent their salary or their team salary number this year was the same as the bottom 7 teams combined.
Yeah. Baseball's got to do something about that.
Don't you think so?
Most other leagues have some kind of salary cap and restrictions.
Yeah.
Baseball, you can skirt around that, man, and the biggest spenders don't always win because the Yankees haven't won. They spend a lot. The Red Sox haven't won a lot. They spend a lot. The Cubs are spending more, but no one spends like the Dodgers.
Rob Fisher said that Zach Edey, as a Canadian, huge Blue Jays fan, so Zach helped organize this trip to the World Series. And Rob said the next day he saw Zach and he was like, "Hey man, great game last night." Then he realized,
not necessarily.
Not for Zach. Yeah.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
I said, "Were any of the Grizzlies players Dodger fans?" And he was like, "Well, they didn't let on if they were. They kept quiet." So it's a smart way to handle it.
Good deal. Big time move from Zach Edey, man.
Yeah, that's
to do
huge,
this,
right?
second-year player, taking your entire team and staff to Game 7 of the World Series. You know how much pull you got to have to do that? Man.
Or money.
Or money, yeah.
One of the two. All right, we got about about a minute before we get out of here and you can flip over to FanDuel for the pregame show. Mike, give me one matchup you're looking forward to tonight.
Man, Jalen Duren is coming off an explosive, 30-20 type game. He had been out for a long time with the injury. He missed most of the preseason. Who is going to keep him from dominating in the paint? Can the Grizzlies find somebody down low to offset Jalen Duren's production?
I wonder if we see a Charles Bassey appearance tonight.
It's about time.
That might be something to see in the post if somebody can body him up and be strong against him.
Yeah.
I want to see if Cedric Howard or Jalen Wells can slow down Cade Cunningham because he's been unbelievable for the Pistons this year.
And then Ja. How does Ja respond?
Yeah,
How does Ja respond
That was
tonight?
Jessica's main character, Ja Morant. So we'll see what happens tonight with Ja. All right, so if you want to stay tuned to the radio, you go to ESPN 92.9 to hear Hasseltine, Eric Elliott Perry, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle. Over on FanDuel Sports Network, Rob Fisher, Chris Moon, and Pete and Brevin are there ready for you. Games coming up after that, and then the double post after that on Grind City Media. So for Michael Wallace, I'm Ling Whitaker. We'll get out of here. See you Wednesday night. Peace.